about a year to a year and a half ago, I was at a very low point in my life.
I fucking can't! I fucking can't! Fuck!
Not the lowest, but one of the lowest. I had a lot of trouble talking to people, whether it was holding a conversation with my friend or even ordering a drink from the menu. And it was hard for me to directly confront problems that involved me or others. And whenever people would confront me, I would take it extremely personally, and even worse because I didn't have a good established self esteem. I would make this whole scenario in my head and believe it as if they hated me and their friends hated me and they didn't want to talk to me anymore, and so on and so forth. 300 days ago, when I first started this whole journey with sobriety, I unknowingly took the first step that led to the many other first steps that I've been wanting to take in my life. Reflecting back on how I was 300 days ago compared to now, with all the failures that I've learned from, with all the healthy habits that I've grown and unhealthy habits that I've learned to break, with all the mental strength that I've grown, that I've built, and all the relentless optimism that I've grown to keep me going through this journey. Out of all that, the most important lesson that I've learned is if you are someone who wants to change their life, whether you're in a bad state or you simply just want to become the best version of yourself, taking that first step and committing to that decision all the way is the most critical and influential decision that you could ever make. And that first step for me was cutting all substances. So alcohol, weed, everything. The drinking environment for me at the time was occasional, just here and there. So cutting drinking for me personally was relatively easy. I just couldn't bring myself to enjoy it, not even the social aspect of it. And cutting weed off was also even easier because I barely indulged in it. It was once in a blue moon that I would take it. I remember distinctly the morning after staying up late, really late, and drinking. I woke up with an extremely raspy throat and I just felt terrible. For a moment, I just sat there and you just wondered to yourself, like, Josh, like, you keep doing the same thing. You keep drinking and then you wake up, you have something to complain about, whether it's your throat, your stuffy nose. It's the same thing. It's just a loop that keeps repeating over and over and over. After bickering and going back and forth with myself, I concluded what the problem really was. The problem was my fear of being the odd one out, with drinking being the norm in college. To put it very simply, I convinced myself that if you didn't drink with the other people, if you didn't follow with what everyone else was doing, you are weird and you don't belong and people hate you and da 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 da. I believed that. I convinced myself that. That was the narrative in my head that I kept for the longest time. I did not have the confidence to put my foot down and make the choice that was different from the environment. After realizing this in my bed at one moment, and also understanding that the root of everything, before I started sobriety, everything that I had trouble with, trouble talking to people, falling into this victim mindset every single time that someone can be criticism, or just confronting problems directly, it all came from the same thing, the same root. And it was my lack of confidence. So I sat and I questioned, how do you be more confident? How can I achieve more confidence? How can I exhibit more confidence? I can't just sit here and just live like this for the rest of my life. I can't. I really can't. I will not allow myself to do that. I have goals and aspirations and, like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I need to do something. And it was at that point that I knew that I needed to start somewhere. I needed to start the foundation to building the confidence that I've always wanted, that I've always lacked. I need to take the first step. So I did. I took the first step trying out sobriety. And at first, it was like an experiment. I just wanted to see what I can learn about myself. I didn't know how long it would last, but the mission from that point on was to build my confidence to a point to where it's grounded and to where I can strive to be the best version of myself, both mentally and physically. Immediately after the first 100 days, the promises I once kept breaking before I started sobriety, I was able to consistently keep them. All these habits that I've wanted to incorporate in my daily life, it's so much easier to do them now. It takes way less effort than it did before I started sobriety. I consistently stayed on top of my sleep schedule. I'd shoot for 7 hours and 30 minutes to 8 hours because I knew it would help me with my productivity. I consistently worked out, whether it was running, biking, lifting, or swimming. I consistently ate whole foods because I wanted my energy level throughout the day to be stabilized. I consistently worked on letting things go, even when a stressful situation comes up. I consistently worked on forcing myself to do things that require my independence. I consistently worked on forgiving people. I consistently worked on staying firm to my values, staying authentic, even when there are situations that test me. I consistently worked on being accountable, even when I make mistakes. Basically, I consistently showed up. I didn't make any excuses. I took the steps that I said I was going to take. And I did that over and over and over and over again. And with that, after taking these steps, I did learn something new about myself. That was the whole point of this whole thing. I want to learn something new. Here's the thing that I learned. Confidence is not something that you're born with. Confidence is not a personality trait that some people have, some people don't. Confidence is not built by repeatedly telling yourself in the mirror that you're confident and then you somehow become confident. That's not what confidence is. Confidence is earned. Confidence is built. And the best way that I could describe this whole act of building that confidence, it felt like a snowball effect. When I first started sobriety, I was very unsure of so many things. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know if it was going to last long, but I knew one thing, that I could commit to it, and that I knew that at the end of the tunnel, if I just stretched this whole commitment long enough, I would learn something new about myself, and I would be better from when I first started. From the beginning all the way to 50 days of sobriety, I realized like, oh great, I hit 50 days of sobriety. What else can I do? I want to start eating healthier. So I started eating healthier. I started making a whole plan, and I stuck to it. No excuses. At the 100 days mark, when I hit 100 days, I'm like, okay, well, I've been eating healthy. I've been committing to that. I've been consistently sober. What else could I do? I want to try running long distance. That's something that I wanted to do. So I made a whole plan and I started doing it. And I'm like, okay, well, I've been eating healthy. I've been consistently sober. I've been consistently running. What else could I do? Let me sign up for a half marathon. And I did that. So after each segment of consistently trying and relentlessly working on these goals, my confidence went up little by little. It wasn't something that I just automatically had and it appeared out of nowhere. I started from ground zero, from no confidence at all. And it was only until I started small, that one little goal, 50 days, and then I went up putting more goals, eating healthier, and then it just went up and up and up and up. And now it is where it's at right now because I've just worked on so many things. I've committed to so many things. So to summarize, like the snowball effect, my confidence from consistently eating healthy and staying sober and forgiving people and letting things go, it snowballed into the other aspects of my life that I wanted to improve on. And ever since then, it's just been a chase of improving, of always getting better and just chasing anything and everything that would develop my character for the better. And obviously, it's going to get hard at some point. This chase of trying to improve mentally and physically, it's not always glorious. It's going to suck. You're going to mess up and you're not going to always get what you want. But with enough hope and determination to strive to be the best version that you could possibly be, you'll get there. You will. And it all starts by taking that first step. That's all you got to do. So to anyone who has an inkling feeling to start sobriety and is maybe scared because of the environment that they're in, just start. Try it out. And as much as it positively impacted me, I hope it positively impacts you too. That's what I learned for 300 days of sobriety, and I intend to keep going. I intend to keep the streak up. Good luck.